Chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohamed Marwa, retired, has lauded the lawmakers for rejecting what he called another attempt to push through a bill to decriminalize cannabis cultivation, sale, and use in Nigeria on the floor of the Green Chamber of the National Assembly. Marwa said history would remember those who stood with parents to protect them and their children from any legislation that would turn Nigeria into a nation of junkies and criminals. He noted that in 2018, drug survey figure 10.6 million Nigerians abusing cannabis alone was enough to sound the alarm bell. Jide, this is a big problem, even for the fact that it's still not legalized. The number of our youths that are into this thing. Some will tell you that they use it to make cakes. Some will tell you they use it to cook beans. Some will tell you that they smoke it. Some will call it loud. Some will call it different names for it. But I can tell you the number of our youths that are into this thing without it being legalized. There are areas you go to that is like a free zone for Indian hemp smokers all around the country.
Yes. The 2018 survey showed that 10.6 million Nigerians are abusing cannabis.
I'm sure that's a big underestimation.
Just cannabis alone.
Okay.
Which is,
Okay,
which is
not
marijuana. Which is marijuana. That's their own name for marijuana. So, 10.6 million Nigerians. 1 in 7 Nigerians are into drugs. 1 in 4 are female. 1 in 4 Nigerians are into drugs. 1 in 7 Nigerians use illicit drugs, while 1 in 4 are actually female. 14.4 million Nigerians are currently under the influence of drugs. As far as General Marwa is concerned, Nigeria is the highest consumer of cannabis worldwide. You know, it is made worse by the fact that we grow it. You go to some states like Ondo State, they grow it in sufficient quantity.
People.
You know, even in Ekiti, some people grow it as well. So that is what has made it readily available. Despite all the efforts that NDLEA are making, they are making seizures, they are destroying this thing, it is still getting to their users. Despite all their efforts, they too are becoming more and more, users are becoming more and more sophisticated. We now see courier companies taking these illicit drugs, cocaine, heroin, Arizona, Loud, and the rest of them. They take them and deliver to
Officially.
big customers in highbrow areas of the city of Lagos and even Abuja. The truth is, these people, they are already, their system is already accustomed or tuned to consuming illicit drugs. So in a day, if they don't take it, it feels like they are going to die. It feels like they are going to die. So they make sure that it is available to them readily. They don't mind how much it costs. The courier companies will come and deliver to them. When I interviewed General Marwa some months back, he said that they were beginning to even arrest those courier companies.
Delivering them.
Yeah, yes. Because how can we have a situation in which young people even think that it is such a good thing? You see young girls,
There's still nothing wrong with it.
interns, 17-year-old, 18-year-old girls who are not
Yes.
smoking Indian hemp.
I know.
There is nothing to them. There's nothing to them.
If you happen to party with them, any party that, you know, you will see them in the display.
Even colleagues, some of our colleagues, They don't see anything wrong in smoking Indian hemp. Why are you smoking Indian hemp as if it is food? And if you are not careful, you go to a party, they can actually put it in your cake. You can eat it. In fact, someone told me that a boy ran mad after they used Indian hemp to prepare Indomie noodles. He ate it, he never recovered. In hotels now, they will say, you see, look at what they are doing. See where they kept it. You know?
It's a cylinder.
See where they kept it. They use all kinds of tricks to try to escape with drugs. All kinds of tricks. But our people are beating them to their game. And I can understand why General Marwa is excited. In trying to decriminalize the use of cannabis sativa, Indian hemp, which is the name that a lot of Nigerians call it. If we are not careful, you are saying that, it has medicinal value, that they can use it for medicine. But when you decriminalize it and say, okay, people can have access to it, the people want to destroy their own lives with it are going to be in the overwhelming majority. The people who are smoking it now, they are not interested in the medicinal value. Some of them don't even know whether, and actually you can, they use it even for women. It helps hair growth and all that. But many people don't know, they just want to consume it.
All right, we'll take this break again. When we come back, we'll talk more. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. CKN, for those of us that we have teenagers, young men, women, it's time to be extra vigilant.
Yes, we have to be. Some of us that have the privilege of going back to school at old age. If I tell you what we see in most of these universities, you'll be shocked. They're not just battling issue of students going to Yahoo, which is practically in every higher institution, but the issue of drugs. There are instances where you see students selling drugs, selling marijuana in their various hostels. Not just guys, lady girls selling, who are drug merchants, are wholesale. You go to most of these, in these universities, in the evening, go to their, to their field. That's where the field, because most of them will leave the campus, they will leave this thing, and go to the playgrounds, field, and see them smoking away. That even the university authorities, I'm sure they are tired, because there's practically nothing they can do about it. This, as far as I'm concerned, to a large extent, also have to do with our family values. We've lost it. Parents have lost their responsibilities. They've reneged on their responsibilities. Our religious leaders also have also done so. Remember in those days when you go to church, some of the things that they'll be preaching for you is don't steal, don't do this, don't do that. When you go to churches now, our pastors, they only talk about prosperity. Prosperity. making it by all means that if you believe, and making it all means also, there are some pastors that pay for Yahoo people to be coming to their church and giving and be dropping money. So it has become a huge problem. And you ask yourself, what is the way out? Legalizing it, definitely, of course. I know that some countries like United States, to a large extent, have legalized the use of marijuana, but to a limited, because they use theirs for drugs and the rest of them, which we are not. Our own, we are consuming practically almost 90% of what we are getting our own.
We are smoking it.
We are just our own. We are just smoking it away. You are smoking. If you go to all these women by the side, that you see them selling tom-tom and selling
cannabis.
that is what it is. Look at them.
See this one now.
So look at them. Look at this. Look at this
Cannabis
one. Cannabis sativa. That is it. Look at this young man. And for him to be selling, definitely means that he is also using, because you cannot be selling without using.
Even his face looks
so
like
look at this one. These are also illicit. So it is a big problem that I think that General Marwa is trying, is doing a good job. If others before him have done as much as he has been doing, I don't think we would have gotten ourselves to this point. Recently, he sent some of his officers to the United Kingdom to be trained by United Kingdom drug and law enforcement agencies. And I saw them a few days ago in some of the posts and rest of them. They are coming back. But the fact remains that there is so much, I don't know how this will be happening. We are looking at about over 10 million or close to 14 million Nigerians into drugs. Look at the percentage.
Yes, sir.
And that is why, that in itself has also a rip-off effect. Because if we have been talking about issue of insecurity in Nigeria. Most of these people,
14.3 million Nigerians between the ages of 15 and 64 are into drugs.
14 million. That is
between the ages
of
15 and 64
are into drugs. Now, what is this? Most of these people, we are talking armed robbers, kidnappers, those into banditry.
Yes.
And all sorts of manner of it. Even the so-called Agbero and area boys and rest of them. And you know why it's so.
Look at an Agbero that broke a bottle on top of a policeman. Before you can walk up to a policeman
and report somebody that has gone. Do you think it's ordinary?
You are not drugs. You are not yourself.
And you know why? It is also very cheap. It's come as cheap as 100 naira. It comes as cheap as 100 naira. Just see the newspaper and wrap it and then. So a lot needs to be done. A lot of enlightenment program needs to be done. But the fact is that what we should do now is to try and manage our youth, the youth who are the leaders of tomorrow, to be able to do. We are talking of instances of a young man that killed his father.
From secondary school.
Secondary school. You were talking about the one that killed his father and butchered the father.
Naval officer.
Naval officer and used a knife to butcher the.
After yes, we'll come back.
After some time.
They just detain him for a few minutes.
And you see,
once he loses his freedom, and he has no access to the drug that
he will just see.
You see that it's a different person. He will become very sober.
The problem then you also go to our psychiatric homes these days. Once in a while, take a look. Go to Yaba. Go to the one in Auro, right? In Abeokuta. And see that even the doctors and the hospitals cannot cope with the number of
they are getting more and more inmates.
Yes, so many.
This drug consumption is just too much.
It's becoming so much. So I will commend the General Marwa and also the National Assembly for not agreeing to be able to pass some of this because we will have more problems. You think
we will have abused it.
No, we will definitely abuse it.
Even this thing, you give that approval, you may be doing it with good conscience.
Yes.
But at the
with
end
the best
of the
intention.
Yeah, with the best of intention.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when it's abused, people will then blame you that why did they agree in the first place? So that is the concern. The other leg of the conversation is where government approved so much money for them to build barracks for these guys. Let me even see. They approved 5.16 billion to build 192 flat personnel barracks. They are killing NDLEA operatives in their houses. Yeah. They are going out, all this, they are busting a lot of barons and they are going after them and murdering them. But now, if they put them in barracks,
secured,
those barracks are secure, you know, the rate at which we will lose operatives to these barons will go down. That's why government decided that, okay, let us build these barracks for them. Because we cannot quantify what Marwa and his people are doing. If we really cannot quantify. Look at the quantum of seizures that they are making. Now, saying that between January 2021 and June 2022, they arrested 17,647 drug offenders
17,000.
and 10 barons. 10 barons. Then more than 2,369 persons were convicted and jailed. We still have the highly decorated policeman who is still there. So it's being prosecuted. So the new barracks, they said the new barracks will be located in the FCT, and it will take 60 days to complete.
Oh,
the
that's
new
fast.
barracks.
It's fast.
Yes,
60 days.
That's very fast.
Very, very fast.
I'm happy. They also
welfare
said
of the-
they also set
welfare of the-
aside 580.50 million, 580 million for the purchase of 4 armored vehicles for the NDLEA. You know, because again you have to protect them. The kind of seizures that they are making and the value of those seizures. Look at the one that they tried, the one valued in the cocaine that they seized valued in billions. They said they brought it through the waterways into Nigeria.
Commercial quantity.
So they were offloading into a house in Ikorodu
The one in
when
Ikorodu.
the elements stormed
there.
the place and then made those
of
arrests. So
billions.
those guys, you know, when they arrest you, they put you on trial, the first thing they will do is to get the court to agree for your properties to be seized. Because they don't want drug lords to come out of prison to enjoy their loot. So the first thing they do is the proceeds of crime, they confiscate, you lose it to the state. See their dogs sniffing. So when you lose it to the state, by the time you come out,
Quantity from
Yes.
just one woman.
by the time you come out and discover that all the money that you have spent with drug money, you have lost all the properties that you acquired with drug money. I think that message will sink in and people will be able to learn lessons that, look at the way this person ended up. He became a pauper after his arrest. Because the jail terms are really not long.
Wow, I'm
and
telling
people
you,
are saying
they need to amend that law.
Yes.
We need to
make it more
talk about
stringent.
that,
Yes.
the
Now,
law.
since NDLEA
Yes.
can't do anything
The law.
about that for now, is the lawmakers that
Lawmakers
can. Now, they want to make sure that they seize your property. Even Abba Kyari too has lost some of his that they interrogated him and discovered he had estates here and there. They went for them, seized them. Although he now went in the court, he was querying how they discovered that they belong to him. And the lawyer said, well, if you say it does not belong to you, fine. At least let the person who owns those things come out. Nobody has come out to say they belong to
property.
So the state will take those property, whatever they want to do with them, do them.
All right.